truck driver at Love's. I'll give you a little tour of some of the things that we're learning as drivers over the road, that microplastics is one of the killers. And water bottles, not only when they are produced, have a lot of flaking microplastics, but they also leach into your water chemicals, and they call them forever chemicals. Well, you think, so we're getting to where I bring in all my cups, for example. This is pure diarrhea most of the time you eat that for the bacteria. There's a guy on the deal, black plastic, look, black plastic. This is all stainless steel, so I use this and get coffee. And stainless steel cups is what I refill my drinks with, stainless steel cups. Now, this is one thing that I just learned too. That black plastic is leaching into that food. Black plastic is recycled electronics. That plastic in that bag is, I couldn't even tell you the temperature here, but it's very hot, 200 degrees, and it's leaching into that food. And I love those rotisserie chickens. I love those chickens. And I didn't realize that the forever chemicals is leaching into that food, and the plastic is sticking and leaching into that food, and it's getting microplastics. We're finding out microplastics, guys, are connected to autism. My dad had autism the last few years of his life, and so reading up on it and doing a lot of research, they found that a lot of brains of Alzheimer's patients had what they call a plastic plaque, and it's accumulated in our brains. Now, so that means that we have to be accumulating a lot of microplastics. Everything in the store is packaged in plastic. But remember that black plastic leaches out when it's hot. This is all recycled electronics, which, if you'll look at electronics, has fire suppressants and all kinds of different chemicals that they spray inside of these machines, these computers, heat inhibitors, etc. All of that is forever chemicals that's leaching into your body when you're eating anything that's heated up. Which, could you imagine how hot the water is on your coffee maker? This is just like the coffee maker at home, black plastic. This is stainless steel, so I use it in my stainless steel cup. And I will buy these if they're cold, and then I'll dump them out. I use parchment paper, and I use a paper bowl, and most paper bowls have a lining on them now that is called waterproofing. So you got a paper bowl with a microplastic lining on it that when it gets hot will stick to your food, and you're ingesting it, and it's getting so micro in your bloodstream that it flows in through your bloodstream all the way up into your brain, and your brain is not soaking it up, it's filtering it out of your blood. So therefore there's where it stops, and now you're building up this what we call a plaque in your brain, and continuing to further your chances of Alzheimer's. So these are just a few of the things that we're learning on the road to try to get safer and eat better. So on my microplastics, like I said, I use these bowls. I will use I buy at the store I couldn't say box or carton, but a carton of parchment paper. I still use aluminum foil, which you've got to research what aluminum foil leaches into your food does. And, we have to stop it somewhere. And the parchment paper, I'll tear off a piece and I'll line the bowl up, and then I'll dump my food into it. And so I freeze food at home. I'll pre-make up food at home. I freeze it in plastic containers. The plastic containers I'll dump into a paper bowl lined with parchment to keep the plastic lining off of my food and reheat it, and now you go into a whole nother issue with microwaves, which I'm not worried about a microwave. I eat out of a microwave, and I love my little air fryer. I have an air fryer on my truck, which is lined with Teflon, so I'm looking to get they do have a stainless steel air fryer with stainless steel racks, so that you don't leach off the forever chemicals and chafing plastic off of the Teflon and into your system. One guy said, what has changed in the last 20 years? The biggest thing that has changed in the last 20 years is water bottles and plastic containers. That's the big change. Poor Joe Trucker. Stay safe.